a daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play option. Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Good morning, everybody. Dan, how you doing?
Good, Troy. Good morning, everybody. And
hope you guys are well on this beautiful day here.
Yeah.
Dan, I mean, where you live is where I live, and it feels like fall right now a little bit.
It does, nice and cool, and it's it's interesting. I was thinking before the show here, Troy and I were talking a little bit on something called fly fishing, and it's so interesting. I mean, we all like to do cool things, or just fun thing, for hobbies. And growing up in Chicago, you might have different things you're looking at just because of where you live. And Troy mentioned fly fishing and described it, and it sounds fun. I mean, it's now the other question I had with fly fishing, and Troy could describe it, but you eat the fish. You hear a lot of what's the etiquette in the world of fish? A lot of people will let the fish go.
Like anything, it's way too complicated than it should be. The rules and the etiquettes.
Really?
First off, shout out chat. Put it in there this morning. Go ahead and say, I was telling Dan right before the show, there's two types of people in my mind. There's people who retire and play golf, and then there's people who retire and fly fish.
That's right.
Tell me which one you are. And if you're not the one I like, I would ask you to simply just ask you just go ahead and let yourself out. So the way, Tennessee's got a lot of fishing. East Tennessee has a lot of fly fishing opportunities. People go to the Smokies, and those are wild trout, so they've never been stocked. So people like that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the problem. Wild trout in the Smokies are about this big.
Big problem. Yeah.
People will go fishing in the Smokies and love it all day. Grew up thinking I had never fly fished, and I thought, well, people go to the Smokies to fly fish. Rusty and I have this debate because Rusty and I like to fish as well. People love the Smokies for the wildness of it, the nature of it, the beauty of it. It's not my favorite fly fishing because they're just so dang small. I like to have like a little bit of like fight to it. So there's a place I'm not going to tell you this because the etiquette is you don't tell people your fishing hole.
It's like a good back test. You don't.
That's right. You don't share the honey hole. But what I will say is, a lot of people go to the Clinch River. I live close to the Clinch River, North Dam, and so a lot of fly fishermen on a Saturday you'll see them, Dan, just in the river, just all standing in a line, fly fishing. I'll go to the Clinch. I'll do it. It's fun. Caught plenty of fish there. I like the Cherokee River, and the Holston. For those who know fly fishing, I might have gave my location away. I like the Holston River because it's not as crowded, and I just catch a lot of fish there. To answer your question, basically this is the rule. You have a limit. There's limits to a day how much you can catch. If you're in a place like the Clinch that's a fly fishing culture, they're kind of gonna look down on you if you just have a chain full of fish. Like, let's say the limit's 6. If you have 6 fish at a place where people love fly fishing, they're catching and releasing them, they're beautiful fish, they kind of snub their nose at you a little bit. I will certainly eat fish. Like, I love trout. I mean, trout is healthy. tons of bones. Love eating bones, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Love
but I think I think you just have to go to a place where you're not going to be looked down upon, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So don't wear out your welcome. Don't take too many.
That's it. That really is it. Don't just sit there every day and take 6 fish out of the stream.
Now, how big are they? You mentioned in the Smokies, they're smaller. How, maybe this big or whatever. How big are we talking in some of the places you go?
There's some rules around it, but just to set like 14 to 20 inches is
okay. So it's
it's a good sized fish. I mean,
dinner table.
14-inch trout. You could probably 1 will probably feed you. 2 would make you full, I think.
Oh, okay.
So it's fun. I enjoy it. I got kids, and then I stopped doing it for a long time. And
now, you got the whole uniform? Do you have what do you wear?
I used to tie my own flies. I used to be all in on it. I have you have waders. I probably have outgrown the waders in my old age a little bit.
Waders are what? I mean, just for us from Chicago, what are waders?
Waders are basically they look like overalls.
Yeah.
But they are waterproof. So they have boots. You basically have little socks that you put your boots on over it. Wow. And it allows you to go into the water and stay dry. Now, also with that, you will fall in the river. That's part of the fun of it.
Oh, really?
Depending on where. I have fallen in the river so many times in my life. I've dropped so many phones in the river. I mean, it's the amount.
Why do you fall? Is it just the current moves you, or
the rocks in a river are really slimy?
Oh, so you slip off those things. Okay.
Yeah. So you basically, you have some stuff. Your boots can do a lot of the work for you, but sometimes they just wear out and you get really slippery. So it'd be like in the rain. If you think about after a rain, if you're walking on like stepping stones.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just how slippery that can be.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
But that's what it is all the time in the river.
Oh, so so would you say more than 50% of the time you're going to take a little dip in there?
I've done better as I got older. Now, it's been a minute since I've been out there deep in the river, so with my hand-eye coordination at this point, I don't know, Dan. But I mean, when I was younger, I didn't care as much because I'd go by myself. You can dry them out. You take them out. You get on the bank, take them off, wring them out, put them back on. It's fine. This time of year, basically during the winter, you really don't want to do that. So you try to be extra careful during the winter.
Yeah. Seems neat. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do it. We'll maybe do a live from the Holston show one day.
That would be neat. That's also isn't the Holston where for the Tennessee football games all the boats line up? Is that the same?
That's the Tennessee River, but the Holston comes into it.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, the Holston is actually, Dan. We'll talk off the record. It's close to some land that me and you have visited before. On Morse code.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So today we're talking about FOMC. Today's FOMC day. Oh. Good origami, man. Fish in mountain streams, great to eat. It's also fun to just hang out, a barbless hook or no hook at all. Ha ha. Fly fishing skill based and very zen. That's true. So that's the other part, Dan. Fly fishermen like a challenge, and so most fly fishermen or fisherwomen don't use a barbed hook. In fact, some places it's you're not allowed to use a barbed hook. And so, what does that mean? It means a hook. The barbed hook can be pretty drag racing in the streets.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, a barbed hook can be pretty. Well, it helps you catch fish because once they eat it, it ain't getting out.
Sure.
Sure. A barbless hook can slip out, and so trout are like little dolphins. They like marlin. They will try to jump out of the water and like get it loose. So they'll jump out while you're reeling them in, and it'll like try to loosen the barb, and that will work sometimes. So it makes for an extra challenge.
Okay.
Anyway, so all right. Okay. So today is FOMC day. For those, we talked about it yesterday. Dan, do you have to trade FOMC?
Absolutely not. I mean, you don't. I mean, it's. I don't know if I'd say the word fun, right? Because you're in here to try to make a few shekels, right? That's the goal in the options trading game. It's more of a speculative environment. It's not a range bound type. For the range bound part of your portfolio, you might say, depending on the range bound trade, but you might say, hey, we'll come back at lunchtime, tomorrow when the smoke is cleared, and we'll evaluate. But I think there's some opportunities here. I mean, one of the opportunity. I mean, there's the one opportunity we had talked about a couple trades, but one opportunity is, when you think of, and this could be tested, right, in OO, is you look at FOMC comes out on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday afternoon. Well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, historically, what I've seen, and would love to see the data, really good for 0 day because it's quiet. The market's kind of on hold. I always encourage, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whether it be, and I'd like to know from like Tammy and some of the credit spread people, but anything you have on, if you had it on from the previous week, like Friday, DCs and stuff, probably get those off nicely. But I think the 0 day works well. But I think if the key recipe, Troy, for doing a FOMC trade is, you can bet on direction or trades that will give you plenty of room, because you can get the kahuna, you can get a 50 or 80 point move. So it's a little more treacherous. I think you want to maybe do a little bit less size, but it's fun, but it can be unpredictable, right? It can be unpredictable. Sometimes
It's like the homeschool problem. It can be fun.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a little unpredictable.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. You don't know what you're gonna. I mean, it could be a nothing burger, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, Dan, this is going to be fun for me because I haven't. For those who don't know, I grew up on Dan Sheridan, options wise. Sheridan, I've told this story before, but like I took a class from Dan 2016, 2017. Learning options, and he called me and I missed it, and I never called him back because I was too nervous to talk to him.
Oh geez.
That's how it was. Dan was really personable, just called, just checking in how I'm doing, and I just said I'm not going to talk to that guy. That's like talking to LeBron James. I'm not going to talk to him. So, and I did that on purpose so that Dan has to wrestle with the fact that I think of him as awesome, but then 2, I think of him as LeBron James. So.
Could you, being a Chicago Bulls fan, could we kind of put, maybe a Scottie Pippen or get a Bulls guy on there?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. BJ Armstrong.
Yeah,
Paxson.
BJ Armstrong.
Listen, here's the thing that kills me about the Bulls. This is the thing that it's so annoying to me because you get these arguments and people are like, LeBron doesn't have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
He can't make that. Well, he has made more winning shots than Jordan by far. Like the stats are the stats. But 2, I watched those Bulls teams growing up. Like BJ Armstrong hits the shot, Paxson hits the shot, Kerr hits the shot.
Oh yeah, they had some 3-point.
It's assassins.
Some really good shooters. Especially like you mentioned, Steve Kerr, but Paxson. Yeah, he had a lot of help. I mean.
And LeBron had a lot of help too. I'm not saying that. Anyway,
both very good players. Yeah,
that was a side tangent.
Side thing. Yeah.
But Dan, this is what I was thinking. This is a fun day for me. Could we look at some of your FOMC ideas? Because my FOMC ideas are dangerous, to be honest.
As long as you promise one of your dangerous, because I love your dangerous ones.
We can look at some that are dangerous, but I would love to start with the not dangerous.
I'll give you the not dangerous, but you know what I was thinking yesterday as I was coming through? I said, I would love to see Troy's, if you want to share it, the one you did in April. It was like
Liberation Day.
Oh, you had these, I mean, you had quite a system going on, but you had these, like, I don't want to call it diagonal. Wasn't it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was a reverse calendar.
reverse cat, you had some things going, and as
Yeah.
long as you share one of something,
I'll
but
show you the idea. I don't remember the exact strikes and all that stuff. I can show you the idea, but
it's an
let's
orphan.
start with
Yeah.
let's
All
start
right.
with yours.
So let's go
Let me get this going here real quick.
two idea, and it just again, there's a million ways to do these. Nothing profound here, but if you look at just the first one would be a reverse iron condor on Thursday's date, because the news is coming out today. But a
Mhm.
lot of times there's an after effect on Thursday. So SEP 18, my longs would be, I can give you the strikes. The longs are going to be about a 28 delta. Someone can make them more, someone can make them less. And then my wings are going to be 20 points away. So what's best to give you, like start with the calls, give you the strike?
Give me the puts. Give me the short strikes first.
Okay. The short call would be the 66.70 call in SEP 18.
Okay.
The short put would be 65.40.
Okay.
The long call would be 66.50. And
Okay.
the long put would be 65.60. It should be around.
Oh, sorry. What was the long call? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, the long call 66.50.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So this is going to be like a $870
Yeah. That's right.
type trade. You know, it's a reverse iron. There are many different ways to do it. But what I like about it is, and it isn't, this is not a positive theta trade. This is not a range
Mhm.
bound. This is negative theta, right?
Well, Dan, if you look down here, we've put some summary Greeks in here for you to see.
Oh, good.
So here, right above the legs, you can kind of see the theta.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And
Yeah.
so, but you can also do this here. So the idea of saying, all right, you're definitely negative theta. You're losing theta on this trade.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You want this thing to be, at some point, basically what you need is about a 40 or 50 point move. And
mhm.
if you look at the expected move for tomorrow, Troy, it's 70 points. So
Oh, yeah.
we're not asking anything crazy, right?
Yeah.
If you look at, once you start getting near the short strikes, even a little bit before it, that's where things become interesting. And
Yeah.
and it can do pretty well. And so that's the thing. You're looking for a 40, 50 point move. The expected move is 70. So it's very reasonable because the vols are relatively cheap. I mean, they've been cheaper in the last week. You're paying $8 for this. Now, if somebody wanted to do less cap, do a $400 trade, you could do this 10 wide, take your longs in a little bit. But the key with this trade and managing it, you can make 80 or 90% tomorrow. If it gets in that area, there's no way I would wait that long. I would probably cry uncle earlier, but that
Yeah.
you have a big catalyst. The only thing, always thinking risk management on a trade like this, if we don't get some kind of move, the time to leave Dodge would be around Thursday at lunchtime, right? Because if you don't, it might be a little bit earlier, because if you're in the sea of death, as you start getting later in the day, you could get really in trouble, if it's right in the middle of the graph. But we're looking to get, whether it be tonight towards the end of the day or tomorrow, if it moves 40 to 50 points from the middle, it looks good, right? So
Yeah.
So the key with the middle, I'm not scared of them. This is a spec trade. I mean, you're
Yeah.
looking for 30, 40, 50% on this, and you're willing to, on the trade, lose 30, 40, 50%. But you would, so sometime in the morning tomorrow, we'll know, if we're not, you'll have the move. So I think we definitely have a big enough catalyst today.
So the structure is the idea for those playing at home.
Yeah.
The idea is to say, you don't have to do 0 day to profit from movement. In fact, we're trying to buy some time
Yeah.
buy some theta
Yeah.
by not going 0 day
Right.
and still profiting from the move. Dan, I mean, that's smart to me. I like it.
Yeah. So this a reverse, and then the other one.
Yeah, let's clear it out real quick. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one would be something that can handle a move, but is positive theta, right? So for, because it's not easy to handle a negative theta trade. Would you agree, Troy? I mean,
Oh yeah.
the nice thing about that trade is you don't have to pick a direction, right? You just need movement. You need it to move, and you're not even asking it to move the expected. If the expected move, like we said, is 70 points by tomorrow at the end of the day, we'd be happy 40 to 50, right? Which isn't it's unreasonable. All right, the second trade would be, this would be called an inside diagonal or double long diagonal. I like those for events.
Yeah.
Because they can handle a price move a little bit better than a DC. I mean, they have just a little bit lower gamma. I like the DCs better, but this is in a relatively low vol environment, can handle a move a little bit less negative gamma. So here's the trade. Should I give you the shorts first?
Give me the date. Which date?
I'm going to buy SEP. Now this is a mixed month spread. Okay. So I'm going to buy SEP 29, sell SEP 26 in this example.
So let's start with SEP 26. What strikes on SEP 26?
All right, SEP 26, we're going to sell the 66.80 call, so up about 80 points. And we're going to sell the 65.30 put down around 70, 80 points.
Okay.
So it's got the double calendar feel. You're selling the out of the money call and put.
Yep.
But our longs, we're going to buy the SEP 29, and someone could make it wider. You could go 4 wide or 5. I'm just doing 3 wide. I'm going to buy the SEP 29 66.75 call.
Yeah, sell it. Were we? No, you're right. So,
yeah.
Was it?
So
you're right. Sorry, buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, buy the 66.75. That's 5 points inside our short 66.80 calls.
Yep.
And then I'm going to buy the 65.40 put. That's 10 points inside the 65.30 put.
Yeah.
The trade's around $10, but it's positive theta. I got it pretty relatively neutral. I mean, it's before the opening. It gets a little
maybe a short one delta. Maybe
short one delta. But it's perfect. But what's beauty is you can handle. I have set up it. If we go up 2%, I'm 1 delta short.
That's right.
If we go down 2%, I'm not even 1 delta long.
That's right.
2% is about 130 point move, way more than, it's almost 2 times the expected move. And you got positive theta, right? So this is kind of you could call this, it's obviously in the family of a double calendar, right? It's got the look and feel, but because your longs are inside your shorts, you're buying more extrinsic value, you're giving up some of the theta type thing versus the double calendar per dollar. But you got a nice gamma. You can handle a big move, right? So it's one of the few positive theta trades I would consider when there's like a big catalyst like today. Now this one is a 9-day, right? So this would be we're selling 9 days, buying 12. But sometimes you could go sell 9, buy 13. And what's nice is you can test both of these type trades. You can test the reverse iron condor and options omega, right? You can go back to FOMC dates the last year and get a feel of that. And you can test double long diagonal type trade. Yeah. This type of trade, you can test it, right? In the options omega. So what do you think, Troy, with the tool?
I love that. This has I like that this has a range.
Yeah.
And really, Dan, I like the idea of almost combining those two because you have the short-term trade.
That's a good point.
That you can make a profit from. Because this one, my guess is you're not going to make a profit immediately. I mean, you're going to have to sit for a day or two, a couple of days maybe. Yeah. And so, but you have a huge range to be able to deal with the move. Now, when would you put this on, Dan? What time of day would you put this on?
Well, I was thinking of putting both of these trades on, because this is FOMC week yesterday. But I mean, the double long diagonal you could have put on yesterday, positive theta, right?
Yeah.
But the reverse iron condor, I wanted to wait till today because it's negative theta, right? The move isn't. I mean, nothing's going to happen until 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah, that's
At
right.
the earliest. So no sense. I'd probably put this on the reverse iron condor sometime in the morning today before lunchtime. The double long diagonal could have been put on yesterday, could put it on today, but that's something I would like to test. The double long diagonal, even on, is it the proper width? Would it be better 4 wide? Do you put it on the day before, the day of? When you're testing, because the nice thing is you have FOMCs, right?
Well, that's exactly right, and I think that's the beauty of doing both. Like right now, we're just talking about structure. We're not talking about the specifics, and that's what we said we're going to do this week. Is we're going to talk about structures more than specifics. So
yeah, and the only thing is, to remember. I mean, the positive theta on the double long diagonals, decent 93. For $1,000 trade. Pretty good, but we have to remember the reverse iron condor. It's something that you have to understand how theta works, right? And it's a bit dangerous, right? Because that's why you want to trade small size. Expect you could lose 40-50%. The theta is huge, right? Warning, Will Robinson. The negative theta is huge.
Danger, Will Robinson, negative theta approaching.
Yeah. Look who's stopped. Hey, Mr. McFeely.
Hey.
The delivery. We got the delivery guy.
Yeah, I love it, Mr. McFeely.
How we doing?
Yeah.
Dan, sorry, Matt, we're just looking at some FOMC trade ideas.
So this looks like it's a lot of green on this model. A 912. What?
Yeah, this was Matt. This one was a double long diagonal for the Troy was. We were talking about a little bit of a few maybe FOMC ideas. Yeah. One was we looked at a reverse iron condor, but this one is a double long diagonal that it's kind of. I like it for these situations if the vol's not too high, and that you've got which one you've got so much room, right? You can handle a 2% move up or a 2% move down and your positive theta on the trade. So it gives you, it's just a tinge less negative gamma than a DC, right? So you can, I mean, a DC is fine. It can get you a lot of room on a day like today, but because you're buying your longs inside, you get a little more price protection.
And you're a little on your put, you're a little wider on the inside.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So this is interesting what you're doing right now, Troy, because one of the things that we've seen a lot is people who are new to OO, who are kind of looking into time spreads, be they calendars, diagonals, inside diagonals, singles, doubles, hybrids, whatever, they'll model out a trade and be like, well, I didn't trade it because I modeled it and it had 0% chance of profit. Or that's more common. Less commonly, people will say, oh, I put on this DC, it has 100% chance of profit. It's like, Troy, do you want to talk about the best practices and the tips and the tricks with modeling a time spread and some sort of modeling situation?
Well,
what's the secret ingredient? What's the BAM?
Here's the number one thing you have to pay attention to with this stuff. If you look at, let me take Delta off here for a second. You look at Vega, right? Yeah. This is a positive Vega trade.
Yeah.
And so you look at your Vega and you say, okay, well, what happens if Vega gets crushed?
Yeah.
If vol gets crushed, that's your first step of time spreads. You have to pay attention.
That's always that's right.
Yeah. But then second to that, each leg has its own IV, and when you're thinking about leg IVs, in my mind, Dan, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think about it more in terms of expiration IVs.
Absolutely. Right. I agree.
Because it's just kind of closer. And so with this, what you're paying attention to is each leg's IV. So you say, what happens if the 90 TE, who's starting at 13%, goes down and goes to the 12, goes closer to where we are? Well, that's good for your trade, right? What happens if the long IV goes down along with it? That's not good for your trade.
Yeah.
And that's the name.
I don't mean to be like the little boy on the sidelines. I have never seen that. I mean, for me, enjoying volatility, the fact that you can put both of those next to each other, right? The short and long, and do what reality does, right? A lot of times, like you said, the short can go down and the long might not go down or might go down more. So I didn't mean to,
I mean, it is IV, but to the point, like let me do this real quick. This is going to be,
oh, wow.
Let's get a little nuts here real quick.
Matt, this is where we need the 3D glasses. Can you pass that? Look at this thing. This is awesome.
So you think about now the range here, it's like, well, it's infinitely profitable. Well, this range is stopping around 5,500, 6,400, right? So it just like in the 2D, if you look at it, like that will, actually the way you've set this up is pretty neutral to the downside, which is so there you go. But it, what you look at here is this back line is the beginning of the time. And so what you're doing, let me turn this around just to show you kind of like, this is your view, like in the start here, think about it in the sense of like, here's the starting point, here's the ending point, right? And so what's going to do is those profit tents start to form as you approach the end.
Yes.
And that's kind of where your profit's going to be at, is that point, and so
if you don't get any volatility help.
Yeah. But now here's where it gets interesting. If you get no volatility help, let's say we're halfway through, or let's say we're at the beginning, we put it on and there's a crush. Let's say we go down, there, we're like, oh, great, that's empty profitable. Let's go down 9%. Well, if we go to 9%,
the long crush.
and so you have to pay attention to those things. And what this allows you to do is basically visualize vol in a way that is helpful, I think. So
and one thing, Troy, like and this particular one, it is 9 days, I think, to go, the SEP 26 expiration. One scenario, the downside, if we were to get 60, 70 point move down by Thursday, and the VIX went up 3-4 points, you might have a chance to get out of this thing at a pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Upside is going to be a different experience, right?
That's right.
The upside, okay, you handle the price move, but I would think, wouldn't you think, that short term the vol could hurt you a bit on the upside?
Yeah, I think the vol could hurt a little bit, although that's the thing that's interesting. And I like this one because in my mind, it's a neutral trade.
Yeah.
But this in my mind is kind of like the mildly bearish scenario.
Yeah.
Where we say nothing happens today, maybe we drop 100 points.
Yeah.
In the next week. Well, you're going to do great on that. You're going to be fine to the upside, I think, if there's no giant vol crush. But really, the way these things are structured, you're probably going to do really well to the downside.
That's right. That's right.
And so I like the idea of trying to do a shorter term trade that captures the movement while collecting theta on these long-term trades.
Yeah, it helps because the reverse iron condor, and I'll put a shout out to Amit who's does
shout out Amit.
Yeah, Amit has this he's kind of done a lot of these and has a good risk management plan on them, and I've learned from him with these. But this is that's a different experience, wouldn't you say? Like you said, most people could probably, the double long diagonal, that experience is going to be less stressful.
Yes.
Right? Versus the reverse iron condor, and wouldn't you say, Troy and Matt, because it is pretty negative theta, it's a different mindset. You got to be a bit of a cowboy or just have a good, well, I would say forget the cowboy, just a good back test. And again, you can back test the reverse iron condor through FOMCs for the last 2 years, right? Or
I
more
think that's exactly right, Dan. And I think there's levels, obviously, like craftsmanship.
Yeah.
There's levels to the game, because I guarantee you, the first time I heard about FOMC, if you say, "Oh, Wednesday's this day where Powell talks," it can get really, really nuts. And you don't know, you haven't been down this road, you don't know. You say, "Well, what should I do? I'm a pro options trader. I'll trade the 0 day, and right at the open, I'm just going to buy a straddle." Right? Ooh. Easy enough.
Simple. What could go
Simple.
wrong?
What could go wrong? Well, a couple things to look at. Vol's at 41 because it's 0 day expiration. And by end of day today, Vol's probably going to be something like 10 or 15, realistically, right? So you don't even have to have any price movement to lose on this. Like, you just have to have what inevitably is going to happen, which is a Vol crush.
Listen, I'm sorry if we already talked about this, because I came in. I'm a special guest today. Not a host.
You're always
not
a special co-host guest in my mind.
Always special. What happens if Powell does something unexpected and the market does not like it? What is Vol going to do? And where is like, I mean, it will, I don't know if you guys, I think most people who've traded remember certain days when they trade out. I remember the end of January 2021 with GameStop. I remember COVID, end of March 2021. I remember Rocket squeezing March 2021. I remember these certain days. I remember December 18th when the market dropped several hundred points, when Powell, I don't even know if it was that unexpected, but it just kept going.
December 18th.
It was December 18th.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. A day that set high outcomes either way in many places.
Well, it's the reset day, like a Black Swan event, where people say, "Oh, straddles are good," and then it resets the thing where people start getting straddles and losing.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a name. There's a name for the positive. There's a name for that, like the positive best outcome. I can't remember what it's called. There's a technical term for that.
Yeah.
But yes,
Notice Dan didn't say any 3 day or 0 day. And here's why. If you're going to do 0 day, not financial advice, if you're going to do 0 day, I feel like, to Matt's point, to catch an outlier. Now, it could go up 100 points, but if you want to catch an outlier, in my mind, the way you want to do that is to where you're not going to just get insta crushed when Vol goes down. Right. And so you've got to set it up to catch the move while doing it. And so, I'm not saying do this, but I would look at something with 0 day if you had to do something on 0 day, where you do like Dan, what do you call this thing? Is that a back ratio?
Yeah, like a back ratio.
And you could even, if you wanted to lower the risk a little bit, you, instead of doing like a 1-2, could you do like a 1-1-1 where the at the money is short, but then the longs aren't, like if one of the longs was at 65.50 and one of the longs was at 65.75 or whatever.
Hey, give me the strikes real quick.
Oh, well, what are we at? Right? So short 6,600.
Okay.
Long 75 and long 50, maybe. I have no idea. I'm just blue skying these.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I like the easing a little bit, easing the pain.
I mean, you're risking $24 because you're getting a little credit. But yeah, just, I don't know. Now you could probably set this up in a way too, where if you move them all farther out of the money, like, there's a million ways to slice the apple, a million ways to stew the apples.
And I like this idea because Troy was basically eliminating the upside risk.
Yeah.
Right, Troy. So at least you're not worried about the Vol crunch on the upside. You're just saying, hey, I need something on the downside. And you can look at that. This is 0 day. You can look at it 1 day also, just because most of the time Thursday is kind of a continuance of the ramifications from Wednesday sometime. It's kind of like a two-day party, right?
Yeah, that's right. Now this is not what Matt was showing. This has much more risk. But this idea, this again, not the specifics. You'd have to work out the
I
specifics.
like the idea. Yeah.
The structure of saying, what happened December 18th? Well, we went down like 150 points in 30 minutes.
And then another 100 points after that or whatever.
Yeah, but this is 0 day, so you can't base on that. So you have to say basically, worst case realistically, unless something really catastrophic happened, is we go to 6,500. Well, let's say you put this on 2 hours. It's going to be cheaper, so it's going to be different. But you basically want to be able to set this up in a way to where it looks kind of like this, because you want to catch that movement. Excuse me, catch that movement as it's going down and just take it off.
Take it off.
Get out of there.
That's the principle for a ratio backspread is when you get your money and it goes, take it in most cases, because if you leave it and it just sits there, you'll give it all away anyways on the decay, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I like this. Whatever.
Yeah,
this is, Matt. This is I love this one.
Yeah, because you're just in that.
Crazy. It's so fast.
That Zoom.
I know.
So anyway, here's the thing. It's like it reminds me those type of trades. The Canelo Crawford fight Saturday. You have two kind of tacticians, and if you watch Crawford, he's a southpaw. And he was just counterpunching the whole fight. And so he was really frustrating Canelo. Canelo would punch. Immediately, he would counterpunch and get him off his guard. That's what these type of trades are. FOMC trades, they're counterpunch trades. Get in, get out.
That's right. Get right.
It's a slugfest. It's a tactician.
Well, know the trade. If it's negative theta, but you get your move, take your money or even if it's negative theta, even break even could be good at times, because you don't want it like Cinderella. You don't want to be there at the end, right?
That's exactly right.
Everything.
The ball ends at noon. That's noon, midnight. Hey, no show Thursday, Friday. We got some travels, influencer dinners, fishing trips.
You ended this with a banger.
Yeah. So, but listen, have a great rest of your trading week. Hopefully, if the market drops 150 points at 2:30, I bet Matt and Dan could hop back on at some point. But we'll monitor the situation.
150, 200.
And you, Troy, and you.
Yeah, I would probably be on as well. So
listen, drop a comment in the chat.
Absolutely.
If something crazy happens, would you tune into a spontaneous?
Yeah,
that's right.
I hear the bell.
All right, guys, got to run.